Alright, baby. I'm going to make this quick because we got the full summary for Chapter 272. There are a few more scans, but I'm not going to go over them. I want to talk about this summary, baby. This summary, oh my god, is going to be so fucking hype. I cannot wait for this chapter. So I'm going to go ahead and read the summary for you guys, and we'll see kind of how I react to things going forward. I'm going to have to cut a few things in here, but that's fine, Loud house just means loud life, I guess. But anyway, the title of the chapter is called Hello. And then the summary says this is a pretty fitting title because hello, because or the Japanese title is a common way of saying hello and greeting someone, which Shigaraki does by waking up next to Exilus. It's also a common way to say good morning, which of course fits since Shigaraki is finally waking up from his nap. Because of the double meaning, it'll be interesting to see what translation is going to go with, since both hello and good morning are good titles for the chapter. So that's the title. So the chapter begins, and we're back at the hospital with Shigaraki taking the first breath of his new life in the doctor's lab. We see a shot of the town and the mountains behind them immediately cut to Burning, who has been leading the hospital backup evacuation team and coordinating their movements. She's communicating with various heroes via headset when we cut to various 1A students like Bakugo, Shoto, Ochako, Ida, and Tsuyu during some crowd control and getting people to evacuate the town. So it's very, very interesting to me here that we see Deku is absent from this list. I'm sure we'll cut to him, but as I told you before, Deku is attempting to enter the hospital as Shigaraki wakes up. So we pretty much knew that. Burning is one of the interns in Endeavor's agency, and she was leading the crowd control team with all the 1A students. So Koda uses his quirk to get all the pets in the town to join the mass evacuation, while his doves feed him information on where other civilians and animals are for him to relay to the flying heroes like Nejire so they can round them up. While everyone is doing their job and escorting people away in a group, Deku is off to the side on his own, and it seems like he hears a voice. This is very interesting to me. He seems like he hears a voice. I remember hearing a theory that either Nana is communicating to him through One for All, or I remember someone said a theory that All for One was technically the quirk that One for All was created out of. That possibly One for All might be something he can connect with as well. I'm not exactly 100% positive on that, but it would be interesting if he can somehow, sense or communicate with users of One for All. Sorry, of All for One. Sorry, All for One. So Shoto turns around and asks him what's wrong, and Deku doesn't respond, standing there shaken. There's a text bubble that comes from Deku's head that looks like the text bubble is made from a ray of light. And immediately after, we see a flashback panel to the first user touching Deku's hand from his dream. Deku slowly starts to turn with his heart beating rapidly. He turns halfway and looks up at the hospital in horror. This is real big. The first user touching Deku's hand during the dream. The first user, I believe, was All for One's brother, if I'm not mistaken. So this, my friends, is very big. Deku is getting information relayed to him from One for All, and he knows what is going down in the hospital. They are hyping up this event so fucking much, and I guarantee you it's going to be so goddamn good when I finally see it, man. Holy shit. Let's go ahead and keep going here. Ochako calls out to him, but he ignores her and keeps staring at the hospital off in the distance while it sits in the mountain. So Deku is shook right now. He mad shook. It's just sitting there like it's been there this entire time, but something's wrong. Deku grips his stomach and feels extremely unsettled. So Deku knows. Alright, he knows. Something is up. Something is going down, and he needs to figure out what's what. And he knows it's at the hospital, at the very least. So, suddenly we cut to Exilus, looking down at Shigaraki, who is now sitting up, drenched in water. The shot zooms out, and we see Exilus and Shigaraki just sitting there amongst the broken wires and machines, and a breeze blows over the basement. We see Present Mike finally reaching out. We finally see Present Mike reaching the end of the hallway with the doctor in his arms. Aizawa and the other heroes have pretty much taken down the other high-end Nomu. So an interesting thing here is it looks like the high-end Nomu are all but wrapped up. So them being a part of this battle, it doesn't seem like it will be a thing. However, they don't matter. Alright? I'm going to say that now. It doesn't matter that the high-end Nomu are gone. Okay, sorry about that. On the next page, we see Shigaraki's decay spreading out of the tunnel and making its way into the larger lab, right in front of Mike and the doctor. So pretty much all I'm saying is Shigaraki wakes up and just instantly begins to decay the entire fucking lab, dude. The entire fucking lab, bro. It's GG. He hasn't even used all for one yet, dude. And if you know about Shigaraki during the My Villain Academia arc, this decay is pretty fucking OP because it can permeate through objects now. So whatever his decay on the hospital touches will decay. So I think he just doesn't give a shit about who he's decaying right now because the doctor could be decayed. He doesn't. I don't think he really cares. Either that or he's banking on somebody rescuing or someone rescue the doctor. Either way, it doesn't really mean anything. So on the next, the doctor sees the decay spreading and rejoices, and Gran Torino swoops in to save him and Mike before it reaches them and crumbles them. Gran Torino starts flying the doctor and Mike out of the lab and screams to everyone that it's time to run. Shigaraki is awake. Abandon the basement now. This is so goddamn good, bro. I love how Shigaraki is being treated as like a mass antagonist. Because he truly has become like the antagonist of the series. I feel like All for One is all but gone now. And this is now Shigaraki's show, alright? Immediately we cut back to Deku with his jaw dropped and his eyes wide open as he witnesses what comes next. Ochako, Tsuyu, and Shoto are looking on, and eventually Bakugo finally turns his head in shock as the group sees the entire horizon of the tree line surrounding the hospital and the mountains. Shake, as part of those exact same trees, begin to lift off the ground and slowly around the building. This sounds like it is some trippy shit, bro. This sounds like some Avengers, like Age of Ultron shit, where the fucking island just comes, like, leaps out of the fucking ground, bro. This is insanity right now. Can you imagine, like, the 1A class just looking on as this shit goes on, bro? They must be stunned. They must be stunned to hell. Okay? This is insane. I think Inside the basement, we're seeing hell break loose, while Ryuko trying to grab as many heroes as she can and others trying to make a run for it to escape the lab. Aizawa is nearly crushed by falling Nomu tubes, but Ryuko calls to him and tells him to use his bandages to latch onto her as they can fly away. This is when a surviving high-end grabs Aizawa by the leg. We're starting to see some Ex Machina stuff going on here, boys. Locking him in place as the building starts to decay and fall around him. The Nomu itself starts to decay, and the decay works its way up to the Nomu's arm towards Aizawa's leg. Luckily, Crust summons a shield to cut the Nomu's arm off and save Aizawa so that he can escape with Ryuko and the others. However, Crust saving Aizawa from the decay would end up being his final act, as Aizawa turns to see who saved him and sees Crust with his thumb up, crumbling to dust with an All Might style smile on him. This, my friends, is oh my god. And we did get a scan of this. We see Ryuko flying out of the lab, and then we see Aizawa turning to see who saved him with a stunned look on his face, and we see Crust giving him a thumbs up and definitely has the All Might style smile as he crumbles away in decay. This is in fucking sanity, dude. Holy hell, it's insane, bro. Yo, Shigaraki's dumb. He is so dumb, bro. He is so fucking dumb. I can't do it. My genes cannot handle the amount of just fucking stimulation, dude. This is insane. So next up, Endeavor gets Mirko and a hero that's hard to make out of the lab, and Ryuko has trouble running down the hallway, and Mirko originally came in because she's so large. The doctor says something, and then we cut away from the hopeful escaping heroes to see the hospital start to decay from the inside out. Starting from the lobby area, then spider webbing around the building to encompass the entire structure, we finally see Wash's quirk in action as the washer on his stomach produces tons of suds and bubbles, and he uses these bubbles to carry all of the patients in their hospital beds out of the hospital safely. Now it's a little ambiguous, but it seems like even Wash might have gotten caught up in the rapidly decaying town, as we see in one panel with the decay expanding behind him, and in the next panel we see a panel filled with decayed buildings and a nameless pro hero trying to escape while screaming for his life as his body starts to crumble from his legs to his torso, bro. Shiggy is now decaying the hospital and the entire fucking town, brother. The entire town! This man's about to mass murder. Do you understand what's happening here? There are so many pro heroes who went to this hospital. If you are not in a flying hero's grasp right now, or like a mass speedster, this shit is going down. Alright, the 1A kids are definitely going to have to run from this. Could we potentially see the death of some 1A kids? I don't even know. This is just so much insanity. Shiggy's going to wake up and his first act is going to be to mass murder an entire fucking city. The entire city, dude. Like it's fucking nothing. Like it's nothing. What? These panels are the same size and back to back, so to me that kind of suggests that it's a frame for moments later in the panel that comes before it. But I wouldn't be surprised if Wash drowned himself in a bubble and made it out safely. So Wash's fate is up to interpretation until we see the panel, or until we see the full chapter. Elsewhere on a road, we see buses and cars that are making their way out of the town under the supervision of the Pussycats. Pixie Doll turns around and uses her quirk to try and stop Shigaraki's decay. She does create mass earth walls to try and save the city. But Shigaraki's decay is just too much and overpowers the walls, making its way into the city as we cut away from the Pussycats and are once again left wondering if they're okay. That's something that's happening a lot in this chapter. So it seems that this chapter is setting up a lot of pro heroes' deaths, where we are getting it very ambiguous on purpose so we can always learn of their fate later. I'm going to talk about this as we get to the end of the summary here, but we have still a lot more. This is insanity, bro. Everyone is trying to escape Shigaraki's decay, but we cut away before we see whether or not several heroes are actually successful in doing that. So now we have to wonder if they made it out alive or not, given the fact that the decay spread so fast and far. As the destruction spreads, we cut back to Shigaraki at the center of the madness, doing what he loves most, bringing ruin to everything around him, bro. This is so fucking cool. Everything around Shigaraki crumbles to dust and starts falling around him as he pushes one of his arms into the ground and grabs Exelus's cape with the other and throws it over his shoulder, Doctor Strange style, to wear it. That's right, all the destruction caused by Shigaraki in this chapter was done with one arm only. We cut from Shiggy throwing the cape on to a cut of the decay spreading through the mountains behind the hospital and through the town. Okay, this has two major ramifications, alright? One, this motherfucker decayed an entire fucking town with one arm, dude. One arm! Two, he throws Exelus's cape over his shoulder, which means he can touch stuff and decide not to decay it now, I think. Because now that he doesn't need 5 fingers to decay stuff, I don't think he can. I think he can control whether or not he decays the object he touches, unless he's wearing a glove on the other hand, which I highly doubt. This man uses one arm to mass murder an entire city, but keeps his first victim's cape to throw it over his shoulder and flex Doctor Strange style. This shit is insane, bro. I cannot wait for this to be shown in manga panels. Sorry, I am so fucking blown away right now. The size of the affected space is already massive. The mountains behind the hospital are starting to crack and crumble away, and the town is starting to rot from the edges as buildings are literally torn from their foundations, causing them to implode. The streets themselves start to almost explosively decay in the way that we saw Deca Japan, sorry if I said that wrong, crumble away in My Villain Academia, and the Doctor is absolutely loving it. he lets out a joyous scream, and I bet he probably yells something like "Good morning, Shigaraki," or something cheeky and related to the destruction around him. Immediately after the doctor yells, we cut to Deku powering up one for all to 45%. He performs the St. Louis Smash Air Force Edition by recreating the exact kick that All Might told him to do to take advantage of its wind pressure in Season 4. Deku blows away the part of the road that's decaying and cuts a line in the sand where Shigaraki's decay can't pass because there isn't anything it's touching. Of course, this area is small, and this probably won't keep them safe for too long, but Bakugo yells for everyone to grab people and run while Burnin desperately tries to reach Endeavor on the line and can't. Finally, to end the chapter, screams for everyone to run while he's still in 45%, Deku screams. So it seems like he's ready to go. That is the end of the chapter, boys. So we end with basically the doctor enjoying everything around him. In my previous spoiler video, I said that Deku powers up to 100%. I'm sorry that I didn't actually mean like 100%, like overhaul 100%. I just meant that he used like full cowling, like full cowling. I'm very bad at English. I apologize if whoever said that is watching this. He uses 45% here in this chapter to kick the wall and to cut a line in the sand to protect them for at least a little bit. But overall, this is insane. There are several major characters we've come to be introduced to and love whose fates are completely unknown at this point in time. Not to mention, we see people like Exless and Crust, who is a top 10 hero, by the way, go down in this chapter as we basically see the beginning of what's going to be mass destruction. As I'm sure Shigaraki is now more powerful than a nuclear weapon at this point. There's going to be a crater where the hospital previously was, and all I'm saying is it doesn't matter what's going on at the mansion right now. Alright? It doesn't matter if Gigantomachia joins the fight. This decay from Shigaraki is really all they need. We haven't even seen if he can use other quirks yet, bro. This is with his one quirk I don't want to say he was born with, because there is a chance he wasn't born with it, but this is the quirk that he had originally that he is using to just kill like just mass amount of people. This is just insanity is the only word I can think of, bro. This is unfucking real, and I cannot wait for this to be translated and scanned so I can see like the full scan, because by God, this looks insane, bro. Oh my God. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say.